Member Monday. Member Monday. Getting to know people at Urban Place.
Urban Place. Upgrade your life's work.
Welcome to another episode of Member Monday, where we interview people who work at Urban Place. And today we have with us
Elad Gaon. I'm an outsourcing marketing manager. I'm working mainly with startups in early stages.
Put it in simple words for people who are not from the field. What do you do?
Okay, so most startups need a marketing manager, but in early stages, it's not always so sure that they need a full-time job.
And the resources are limited.
Low, again, yeah. So, and they don't want to take somebody who's not professional enough. So I provide like a variety of ways working, how many hours a week and stuff like that. I'm trying to create a process with them with, a 3 to 6 months with targets and everything. And that's the way I work.
In your daily work with a company like that, what do you do? What do you give them?
I'll answer it as what do I find important these days in marketing, especially for startups in early stages. There's like two very big buzzwords out there right now, growth hacking and inbound marketing. And especially these days, what the digital provides us is unlimited. To understand, the biggest question in marketing is who are your customers? And never before we could answer that question so specifically. So for doing that, growth hacking means placing a map of your buyer's journey and by using data and tracking that. And inbound marketing means that it's much easier to sell value than sell yourself. So if I really understand who are my customers and I really understand the journey they take, how can I create the first meeting with them by giving them value? And especially because PPC, pay-per-click platforms have become so expensive in the last 2 years, we're not looking about that moment that, the customer says, I need a product because there's too much competition and therefore it's too expensive. So we ask ourselves, if we know him, how can we meet him before that?
So pre-Google, pre-searching, pre-social networks.
Pre-need, actually, before he actually needs it.
Oh, mind reading.
It's not mind reading, it's because we are creating profiles of different personas. And, 10 years or 20 years ago, when a company wanted to sell something, they had one message to the world, okay? And it didn't matter who are the different personas inside that audience. Now you can create different campaigns specifically with different, needs and reasons to buy your specific product.
Micro-targeting.
Micro-targeting plus, ask yourself as a startup, how can you create a value and start this relationship? Let's be cynical for a minute and say, when the customer owe you, okay? Don't tell him, I'm so good, take me. Find what is it you can do. Let's take the biggest example of inbound marketing. That would be HubSpot. They have a CRM software and marketing. And they are basically a company of marketing, one platform to rule them all, okay? Everything that you can think about. And they created a CRM software, an amazing one, by the way, totally for free, no strings attached. And by saying before you need a crazy platform, okay, to rule your marketing, whatever, you need to take yourself seriously. So here is a CRM that, by the way, works perfectly with our product. And in a way, HubSpot is a great example and a great product out there to those who don't have CRM yet.
Does it ever happen to you that you consult a company and taking in what you said, they realize that they're in the wrong business or in the wrong niche and they have to change basically what they are?
Well, I wouldn't take it that far because it's my job not to confuse the system. But definitely you can see a lot of features that pop up once you understand who are your audience. I mean, we're talking about knowing your audience, for forever. But right now you can create profiles that you actually understand them, and the priority of which development would be next. A lot of the time is affected by this research, by understanding your competition, understanding the needs, and a lot of time it's the simple stuff that a company can create quickly that would give them the biggest effect, and not necessarily, the next task of the developers.
When do you leave the companies? When do you let them spread their wings and fly?
It depends on my own growing as a professional. So right now, once they get the round A, my job is done. But I have clients that I'm continuing with them, and therefore my next stage, like in 2 or 3 years from now, would be taking companies from round A and bringing them to round B. The same way that 2 years ago, I started with companies that had only friends, family, and fools money, and taking them to the seed funding.
Member Monday. Member Monday. Getting to know people at Urban Place.
Where do you find your clients, or where do clients find you?
Well, Urban Place is a great place to sit around and work, especially in my line of business. Because of my competition is the worst competition ever. I mean, it's quite funny that I don't use most of the platforms that I'm advising to my customers. But of course, LinkedIn, and I find Open Space, Open Place, and others. I found myself more than once just sitting and doing my work in one of those places and starting a conversation and finding my next client.
So working from home or from a coffee shop just wouldn't work for you?
Yeah, definitely. Of course, it would always be a word of mouth. But yeah, what's amazing for me about Open Space is that by working, I'm actually doing a campaign of my own for my customers.
So you're campaigning while you're working. You get two in one, two for the price of one.
Exactly. And because I believe in inbound marketing, it provides me, the chance to give value, like sit for 20 minutes with some entrepreneur and giving him the most basic stuff that he actually needs, and starting off our relationship by me giving him value rather than, putting a business card and saying, you should talk with me.
So it's not advertising, it's actual consulting that sells you.
Yeah, and it's like a banner that shows me walking, which is embarrassing to create one, but it's not embarrassing to actually sit and walk.
And it's dog friendly. We have your dog here.
Louis, yeah.
He's very quiet, so you wouldn't know. But hey, Louis. Hey, Louis. Want to say hi?
We just told him be quiet again and again, so now he's like confused.
You're a digital nomad in a sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's conclude this with a tip for entrepreneurs.
Cool. We know that the chances that a customer would buy our product for the first time he entered our website is 0. Okay? We're talking about 3 times that he needs to know about us, and we're talking about stuff that he's gonna check with competition, stuff like that. But if you look at most websites, it looks like they don't understand that. They still believe that there's a slight chance that you would buy in the first time, although the data shows it's false.
So you have to remind them they're not Amazon.
So I'm asking you guys, whoever listening, on the header of your one-page website, does it says buy now, the first button, does it say, let's start your demo? Or is it taking him to the blog, to an interesting article? Because we know that he needs time with us. There's no chance he's going to buy. And again, you look at websites and it looks like they don't give enough attention to the journey that is most likely to be.
Elad Gaon, thank you very much.
Thank you.
If you work at Urban Place and would like to be featured on this podcast, contact your community manager. Also, if you'd like to record a podcast or do any audio recording, we have good prices for people who work at Urban Place. Contact us or your community manager. I'm Ido Kainan. See you next week.
This was another episode of Member Monday. Getting to know people at Urban Place. Member Monday. If you want to be featured on the show, contact us at up@podcasty.co.